If you're an immigrant who filed a case for a green card, whether yourself or somebody sponsored you and your case is delayed, you really need to consider filing a mandamus lawsuit. This is a solution to your delayed case. This is federal court right behind me. That's Eastern District of New York. If you live in New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Long Island, you're gonna file your lawsuit here. In this video, I'm gonna explain the steps and the process. Hi, my name's Mohammad Saleem. I'm an attorney practicing immigration law for 13 years. I'm gonna explain the process for a mandamus lawsuit in New York City, and this also applies to other parts of the country as well. So if you got a lawsuit in some other place, we can talk to you about your case. A federal lawsuit is something that you file against the government. The lawsuit that we file is called a mandamus lawsuit. If you have an immigration case and it's delayed, it's outside of normal processing times, or you had an interview at the embassy and they did nothing on it, they're basically delaying it, they're not telling you, and you gave them all the documents, you can file a lawsuit against USCIS, the embassy, National Visa Center, to force them to make a decision on your case. Now, the lawsuit starts with first picking the right place to file the lawsuit. If you're in New York, you'd file it here in Eastern District. Okay, that's really important. The next step is really identifying what the problem is on your case. So if you're outside of normal processing times, you give them all the documents and there's nothing else that's happening. You made congressional inquiries, you called your congressperson, you did e-requests online, you did other types of inquiries, but nothing has happened on your case. Then you prepare your case to make sure that you've done everything else and that the government's doing nothing on your case. It doesn't mean that they sent you a request for evidence and you are not happy with it and you don't want to respond to it. That's a different type of case. But you prepare your case to show that you've done everything and that the government has to respond on your case. You put your lawsuit together, whether yourself or your attorney. In my office, we prepare our clients' cases. We go through all their documents. We build a case history. We file the lawsuit in Eastern District, and then we serve all the necessary parties. Now, I made a video before explaining the process, but I want to tell a real story of how a client of mine that we filed a lawsuit for, she was a United States citizen. She sponsored her husband. Her husband's case had been sitting in the embassy in Islamabad, Pakistan. For more than 2 years, nothing had happened. They would make requests, they would call their congressperson, they would send email inquiries, finding out what's needed, what's necessary. They gave all the documents, but nothing had happened. For 2 years, they were just waiting patiently for any type of response or any sort of update from the embassy to say, okay, congratulations, your visa's approved, pick up your passport with the visa and come to America. What we did is that we filed a lawsuit here in Eastern District. We served the US government, the embassy as well through the Department of State, and we served the US Attorney's Office, which is actually right over here around the corner. After serving all those parties, we just waited to see what their response was, because by law, the government, when it gets sued, has to file an answer and respond to us. So we don't have to wait for USCIS to respond. Now their government attorneys are going to respond. In that case, they settled the case within 2 to 3 months after filing the lawsuit. They were able to say, okay, we're sorry for the delay. Have your husband submit updated medical records, and then have him come and submit his passport at the Islamabad embassy in Pakistan. And then they issued a visa, and he came here within 3 months of us filing the lawsuit. It's an incredible story. I want to share this for other people who are struggling, whether with USCIS or overseas with their loved ones. Their embassies are delaying their cases, the interviews, were done and they're just waiting for a result and the embassy's not responding. This is how you get a government action or a government response in your case. So if you're one of those people, we hope this helps you. Comment down below. I want to hear stories of other people who are suffering on their cases, and maybe we could help you. It's difficult to do it on your own. You can call our office and we can talk to you about the case as well, and maybe we can take your case on. Thank you.